AI thing is like one of the first times in my life where I've been truly stumped. I've been like everything else I saw coming. I was like, oh, Instagram, that's Netflix, TikTok. It's like, oh yeah, I get this. This AI was the first time I was like, holy shit, half my friends are going to lose their job in the next 10 years. Okay. Like that's been like a big one for me, being like, whoa, how do I figure that out? But,
Right. As far and your friends in kind of filmmaking industry stuff or
filmmaking,
friends.
creative, anything kind of remotely creative. Like if your job is to make logos or make decks or come up with ideas for like, you know, uh, a Starbucks commercial or something like that, like this guy that these producers that I work with, not to get too in the weeds, but these producers that I work with just made this big commercial for a massive software company, like one of the biggest in the world. And they flew around filming all this stuff and they finished the commercial. And it turns out that ChatGPT wrote the script for the commercial. It was an AI generated commercial. Like humans didn't write it. It was just AI wrote the whole thing. So this thing that used to be a team of 30 people was now done by 2 people, you know? And
Right.
that's just the future, unfortunately. So like, and if you're kind of like, crazy thing is like so many creative people are behind the veil at a company working on stuff, And the reality is like those people are like dunzo. Like music, like so many people exist in the music industry that are creative, but it's like AI will be able to do that, So it's not to be doom or gloom, but I don't know. My outlook isn't too cheerful on that.
Right. Like so in your mind AI is the big one, because I mean
Yeah.
anyone who dismisses this argument will use the argument, hey, look back in history, the washing machine, the printing press, all of
Yeah.
these things were going to be the end of X, Y, and Z industries. But
Yeah,
it
I
didn't
think
happen.
this
It
is
just
gonna
created new
be
jobs.
no. Yeah, I don't think so. I think this is like totally unparalleled, you know? Um, yeah. I don't
Where
see
do
how
where
we could
where does it
what you
lead?
say?
Like I'm sure you've been playing with ChatGPT. Like where do you see this going for humanity? Like if it takes away the entire
I
industries, what do people do in North America at least?
I think the reality is that the world is gonna need way less people. Make of that what you will. Like
Yeah.
I don't see how it does it, Uh I think that like there's certain yeah. Like if your job, let's just put it this way, if during COVID you could work remote, your job probably won't exist in 10 years, you know, um, for 90% of people, I think, like there's exceptions, but it's like if you're like some kind of working remote, like doing emails, doing sales, coming up with logos, doing stuff like that, I think those jobs are going to go away. I am fundamentally stupid trying to wrap my head around how an economy will be able to sustain itself when there isn't like when you have the same productivity, if not more, but you can do it with 1/10 the people. I don't know how I don't know what happened.
Right. I mean, I people are so adaptable. I'm not completely call it black pilled on the idea, but
Yeah,
like there is the return to people living off the grid, and you see
yeah,
that firsthand, obviously, and
yeah,
you know people living their own kind of sequestered lives that
yeah,
maybe a step backwards. It may be well, it may be like
yeah,
Terence McKenna's archaic revival.
yeah, yeah. It really depends on what your term of progress is.